Clap once if you can hear me. Clap twice if you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you.
Elementary teachers.
I'd like to introduce Wael Badawi, a very good friend and member of IPAC, who has a lot of great experience and information to share with us about how to market books and how to use social media. And so I'm just going to let him get on with it.
Thank you. So, if I want to start with the following. Do you know how big is the book market outside there? So, according to the statistics, 2015, we have $113 billion worth of books have been sold in North America. The number can change between different sources, but this is a huge market. It's 113 billion. If we look at how many companies are there, you will find there are a handful of companies who are actually selling printed books and ebooks and audiobooks. I was privileged early on in my career. That's two of the largest companies actually publish my books. So Pearson from UK, they are the largest one in publishing, and there are consolidation of some, and I also published with Clover before. According to statistics, we know that a company which we don't like that much, called Amazon, is responsible for selling 50% of the printed books in the world, not only in Canada and North America. Barnes & Noble, which is the second one largest, it comes at 25%. So this answers so many of the questions you have here. Is like how I sell and publish a paper book. Basically, you don't do it yourself. You can actually align yourself with somebody who has a distribution channels to sell your book. It will not care about how big is your book, how small is your book. It doesn't care about anything because they do have it. If I look at $113 billion business, which is expected to grow at 123 by 2020, it means that there is a system. There is a system to publish these books. In the last 2 years, if you are looking at this business and you want to do it as a publisher, author, whatever you want to call yourself, you will find out that in North America, which is Canada and US, usually it's US numbers, okay, but Canada's always tag along, that's right? Like we are Canadian tag along. They declare that over the years, 12% of publishers right now are self-published. There are 12% in 2015, which is number grown from roughly 2 to 5% around 2010. The same information will say also the following. Will say that there are 42%, including this 12%, are small publisher over self-published. Because when you publish, do you publish under your name or you publish under a small publisher? What you do? Who here publish under a small publisher, which is his own company? That's right. So I publish under 5 companies, and I also have publisher under my name. So when you look at these numbers, you have to understand that. What does this information tell me? Nothing other than one thing. There's one thing. There are 42% of people producing books. They do have a system. There is a blueprint. There is a way that these people have been able to make money on it. Do you agree? Is it clear for everybody? Okay. Second piece of information which is important for us to know is how many books on the average an American Canadian or an American will read per year. So the statistic demonstrates that an average American will read between age 18 till 49 will read 12 books per year. And this is the average. So, and we know that we won't be young. We have so many other stuff to do, okay? The same statistics or same report came, it demonstrates people at 65 plus. How many books do you believe they will read on the average?
20.
They are reading more books on the average of 13 per year. Okay? So, if I want to build a book campaign or if I want to publish my book, these are the numbers. In Canada, we know in Canada there are 52% of our books are academic and educational books, and there are 48% books people buy. Still, people buy them as a fiction, a business interest, continued education, you can call it whatever. So the market is still balanced between academic books and non-academic books. And there are so many branches right there. So if I'm looking at these numbers, the question to you is, what and how you can position your books to be picked as one of the 12 or one of the 13? That's right? Okay. If you feel that you cannot do it, by the way, you can leave any time. If you feel this just put you down a little bit, but this is the reality. These are the real numbers.
But well, lots of people buy books and just don't read them. They just like them on there.
And these statistics are about not bookshelf help. Because books are shelf help sometimes because they carry the shelves, that's right? So we talk about books who are effective. We talk about a good friend here, she needs review for her books. So we need about books which has to be effective. Okay? The second dilemma we live into it, which called books versus ebooks. So, do you believe that, who believe here that people will read more ebooks than real books? So the question will be is how you define an ebook. Because the statistics showed something which is very weird. The statistics demonstrate that there are 12% of Amazon sale around ebooks. The rest is inside books. And I don't agree on these statistics because I read more than 12 books. I read more than a book a month as a hard book. And I do read between 2 to 5 ebooks a week. However, you have to understand that not all ebooks will have ISBN number, will be registered as a formal ebook. The beauty of the ebook is they do have about 92 million, it's a little bit more than 92 million, but 92 million readers a year. And they access them through about 6 different platforms. One of them is Kindle, the other is Kobo, and there are about 6 major different platforms. Okay? So who here has an ebook? Okay. Who here has a, we know who here has a book. Okay, so you have, this is the dilemma of the ebooks. Majority of us will always read ebooks and receive ebooks who are not formally defined as ebook. So if you get a PDF version of your book, it's not an ebook. Ebook is defined once it's on Kobo or Kindle or it has an ISBN number. So this is the statistics, and you have to be careful of what the statistics are. I'm running this workshop today, and the workshop will address the top 5 challenges which you will face if you would like to launch and sell a book, including marketing, social media, whatever it is there. And my name is Wael Badawi. I'm a professor in 7 universities. I have rewarded about 79 international awards, I believe. and I stopped counting. I got 17 patents under my name. I started my career as a professor. I sold my first book in 1998. It was on religion, a vision of a religion. And this book actually gained more than 10 million copies in 2009. And unfortunately, I don't make any money out of it because this book is made for a cause. And the group who are printing it and selling it, distributing it, they are just basically retain all the money coming back from. I got control of my book about a couple of years ago, and it became now a Canadian copyrighted book and is listed on Amazon. Some of my book on Amazon are not listed by the publisher or by the Amazon, but some of them are listed by the readers to sell them as used books. And 4 of my books will sell above $300. And this will be on eBay and in Amazon, used books. And I was delighted for that. My business books will not be sold anywhere because I use them for a different way, and I'll explain it to you. But I have at least 4 books who have been sold for more than $300. Some of them are academic, some of them are not academic. My total publications till today, when John asked me to count that, I found about 27 books. Maybe 2/3 of them are academic books. And I publish with IEEE, with Clover, with Pearson has one of my books. So I used to do this in the past. And to our good friend Gord, when he mentioned, I had a book which became the official textbook in biomedical engineering in at least 58 universities in North America as a graduate course. And I got $463 royalty on it, and I could not even cash the royalty because I did not at the time have a US account. And I have to, it was a very complicated, so I didn't get any money from this book. And I went through my journey. I became now a coach and consultant mentor. I help people who are building businesses how to build platforms so they can sell as a consultant, as a book speaker, as a book author, and the speakers in one package so they can make money. And this will be one of the courses I run is around books, and one is about positioning books. And I made this particular workshop, which I take bit and pieces from different places, and I just here to help you with this. Any questions for me? Feel free to ask questions whenever you need, and just raise your hand. And if the question is relevant, I will address it. If it's not relevant, I will answer it later. I will tell you. So today I want to talk about the 5 challenges to publish books. One of the number 5 challenge is you don't know what you don't know. Do you agree on that? So we don't know that marketing and campaigning and every single thing have been done in life. They have a blueprint. That's right. You don't know. You basically don't know what you can do. And when you don't know what you don't know and you discover something interesting, you basically will have the wrong answer because you ask the wrong group of people. And you are surrounding yourself with people who are at the same level of knowledge as you. That's right. So if I'm surrounding myself with people like me, ignorant like me, and I had a new idea, I'm asking who? I'm asking the ignorant, my friends, to lead me, and I'm still ignorant. I call myself ignorant Brian because I know a little bit, that's right? So you imagine this. I'll be the ignorant Brian who is led by the ignorant. He's surrounded. And this is the fundamental problem in everything we do. And when somebody comes and says, I would like to share with you some information, oh, he's trying to sell me something, you know? I'm not trying to sell you anything. I do have enough clients in my life who are paying me much more than you can afford paying me, by the way. I'm just sharing because I know when I derive value, when I share, I will get in exchange from you what? Value and your experience. I care about people's experience. I don't care about you are the best editor, the best publisher, but tell me, who did you help to be selling multi-million level books or 100,000 level books? It doesn't matter what the quantity you do. What matters is the quality of the work. And the quality of the work will speak only when you know how others take advantage of my service and become profitable and become at a second level of their life. Agree? Okay? This is supposed to be interactive. I'm not lecturing, okay? So, the second thing which we don't understand very well is there are people who have two types of publishing. There are people who are publishing for passion, and people who are publishing for business. That's right. Where do you place poetry publishing? Is it passion?
Did you say poetry?
Poetry, yeah.
Yeah, passion.
Do you agree that poetry is passion?
Yes.
With all due respect to you guys, poetry is largest growing part of books and book selling. It's grown by about 16% over the last 2 years. It's becoming a mainstream inside publications. So poetry and book and fictions are not anymore passion. When they survey Americans, they found out people read biography and history. Around 70% of the readers will prefer to buy biography and history. So these are not passions. These are business. Because why is business? Because you are into a competition. You compete against other books, other authors, other publishers. Do you agree?
Yes.
Does it make sense to everybody?
Well, as people writing books for passion, hobby, there's a lot of people here. They're doing it because they're passionate. It's more of a hobby. There's not many people making lots of money in this room.
I appreciate you bring this point. So we have business, passion, and then we have the hobbyist, and we have here the lobbyist. Okay? So lobbyist is people who are building their life, their business, their income, by the way, not everybody is writing books for business, for money, by the way. Yeah. I know individuals who write books because they want to impact and reach a large number of audience to make impact on their life. And the money is secondary. There is nothing wrong with that. But it's still sustainable business. It's still sustainable operation. It's still a system which has to be put in place. Do you agree?
Yes.
So even if you are working in passion and you want to have a mission and you want to push your books forward to reach more people, I will not just stand and say, I want to get more people, I want to get more people. I have to be embedded inside these people's brain so people will come. There is nothing amazed me than today, by the way. Like, I'm so grateful everybody is here, because since we moved to this room, we never have extra chair to come in. I don't even have a copy of the workbook for everybody, by the way, because we did not expect that large number. What's the marketing budget we had for this particular workshop? Big O, zero. We did not invest other than sharing few messages, but I know how to do it. So when I shared what I shared, and I tried to build interactions, when John did it, we got people in. So this system can work without you spending too much money, or any money at all, okay? The number 4 challenge is people usually do the wrong things first. Sorry, number 4, people don't know what to do. You don't know what to do.
Are you okay not to use the orange? I just can't see. I want to see what you're writing.
It's
really hard back there.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah. That's great.
So number 4,
Here goes the first draft.
We care.
okay. You don't know what you do. So if you have an idea and you want to start, you want to say, okay, I want to write a book. How many here would like to write a book? Answer, that's great. You know, I'm the last one who wants to write a book. I am the one who wants to maximize the benefits of my book to others. So I don't care about writing the book too much. Writing books, guys, is less than maybe 1% of the whole formula. I will just be generous with you and say it's about 5% of the whole effort operation system. That's it. So the minute you have this book in your hand, it's good effort for you, by the way. I highly appreciate it. Internally, I admire it, you know. And I may buy you a copy from this book, but this is not the system. This is just less than 1%. I call it 5 because I don't want to make people feel bad. Okay? So, to start this workshop, I want to get you this workbooks. If you can move them down. And I also have pens for each one of people who don't have pens. So. And I want to start to first to know what to do. So if you start with me, and you will take this workbook with you home. So please, if you are somebody's trying to use it for other clients, I do have a system where I can authorize you to take it because these are copyrighted material. If you and this is books for your use. So if you are an author or somebody wants to use it, you feel free to contact me. But if you are a service provider and you want to use it for your clients, let me know so I can give you a license to use. Okay? There is nothing wrong with anything we say here, we say it in public. So we don't have anything to do. So if you go to first step to know what we want to do first is we would like to set up the stage. So to set up the stage, you start to write your name, your email, your phone number. John, you don't have a copy, right?
If you don't have enough copies, that's fine.
This is
We're
on.
not writing.
I will owe you a copy. I owe you a copy. Okay.
I will hold you to that.
So when you start here, you start write your name because we know that these books will get into, some people will take them away and stuff like that, so, or they lose them, so you can write it. And then we want to come to and just try to follow with me because if you want to move ahead with the workbook, you can take it and work at home, you know. So the question will be is how the publishers work and how they can publish books. So we know that publishers, if they come to you, they pay you money. That's right. So I will talk about Marlene, and Marlene writes. She writes books in literacy, and the publisher will come to give her $50,000 to take her script and publish this book. So this is what will come to her as a check up front. Do you know somebody named Hillary Clinton? Yeah, she gets about somewhere between $500,000 to $2 million for each one of her books. Okay? And she's not an author, by the way. And moreover, she is not a best-selling author. And she is not #1 Amazon bestseller. Okay? She's none of these. Okay? So, if I want to understand the market here, how much this book you believe will be sold at? What's the average price for a book right now in the market? $15, $20, that's right. So if she will get $20, if this book will be sold at $20, or it can be also $25 if it's hardcover, and in promotional times it will be $15. That's right. Usually the reality will work at 10% to 15% in this area. That's right. If she sells 10,000 copies of the book, so how much money this book will produce? 200,000. Yes, ma'am.
Is the royalty, the 10%, is that of sales or?
This is of the sales, yeah.
Or net?
No, this is the reality of the sales.
Just gross.
The publisher will take back. So the publisher offered her $50,000 up front. So when you have the book price listed at $20, you sell it hardcover for 25, for example, and maybe you can go up to $15 lower because you want to also have promotion. So if that, when they send you the material, when you talk about 10,000 books to be sold, I'm not sure how many of you here has 10,000 books sold, but it's an interesting number to start with. So you have $200,000 made, that's right? So how much royalty will be there? $20,000. Which is bigger, 20,000 or 50,000? What's the difference now? So they are down by negative $30,000. Okay? So how many books they need to sell more to make this? We talk here about 50,000 books. So when somebody trying to look at these numbers, we always ask the question, why do you write your book? Is there any money in books? Is there any money to write and publish books? Okay? Do you agree on that? And I will explain. In my workshop, I have a very good example of the most recent New York Times bestseller, Scandal, which was published August 17 this year. So the first step is there is no money in writing and publishing books. So with your pen, I have pens if you need more. You start and say there is no money in selling books. Can you write it? No, N-O, and you can put the dollar sign, or you write money in the first line saying there is no money in selling books. So why do we do it? I have a friend of mine she's here, and she writes books, which is very amazingly, and she has a passion. She's one of you here, and I will not identify her, but all what I can tell you, she writes books. She has a plan for a book in Christmas because she want to gift each one of her family a book on a special way to cook for a special people. So out of her experience, out of her knowledge, she puts these books and she puts them as a giveaway or gifts to her family for Christmas presents. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
Actually, I appreciate what she's doing because this is a very good cause. But is she looking for any money coming to her from this book? Most likely, no. But she is doing it. So if you are in this side of the space where you say, I would like to write, I would like to do books, I don't care about how much money, I'm wealthy enough, I don't care. No problem, just follow up with us and understand what are the dynamics and how to get your word out about your books. So where is the money? For the other people who are on the other side of the coin will say, I'm writing these books for a reason. Like, why do I spend my time to write my books? Because, by the way, there's an alternative ways right now. You can do a Facebook Live and record everything you want. That's right. There's actually a transcript from an audio to a text messaging, so you can send an MP3 file for 25 cents. They give you the whole script back. The file limitation, I believe, is 2 gigabytes. And believe me, you can put lots of word in 2 gigabyte audio file for 25 cents. So instead of you writing the book, you can basically record it and just have it and print it in your printer, and it will not cost you $1. So why do you want to publish books? So I believe the other people like me, they want to publish the book for a different reason. But there is no money in books. So where is the money?
Emotion.
Where is the money? The emotional is not money. The emotional is satisfaction.
No, promotion.
So
Promoting the book and giving
Promoting you.
and this is where it gets. The money is not in the book. The money is in all the activities which you can do around your book. So activities like what? Our good friend, she's talking on concussions, and by the way, concussions is #1 in demand right now. If you understand the market right, if anybody can help in concussions, if you can come to specific points of contact, you will be the master in North America for concussions. But there is a system for that. So when you look at people like on the other side who are business consultant competing in strategies. How many? Do you know somebody called John Maxwell?
Yeah.
What do you know about him? Do you know about him as a bestseller author, or do you know about him something else?
Well, I read most of his books.
Yeah, but what he's doing, what he's offered?
Well, he's a consultant.
He's a consulting.
Yeah.
He is not an author. When people come to me and say, "Where are your books?" I got them. Because I'm not proud of my books. And I thought about this very carefully. So I do have my books here. So these are my business books, which I give out within my consultations and my program. And these two in particular were the first mock-ups of my books. When I stand on stage very first time, I didn't even have the books ready. I had the books, I have the ISBNs, and I went to my good friend and I said, "Can I have a book look?" So she printed papers. When we made the money, we published the books. And there is the books which you can acquire them from Amazon. I don't sell them in person. You go to Amazon. And if you want to know more about me, just look up me on Amazon Authors, and you will see all of my books. This is a paperback of my Islamic book, which I did when I was a student. I was like you guys, I didn't believe in myself. I have no belief I will be a good engineer, I will be a good professor, I will teach, I will have this patent, I will be defined as a scientist in Canada. I thought about seeing the beliefs in North America against what you have in Egypt. I thought about, I want to put this in a book. I did the book. I reached out. Somebody took it over, and they will print 1 million copies a year, distributed to 3-4 million people. Okay? And this is not a small book. This book is 606 pages book. Okay? I have the bride of it. I don't talk about it much because it will take away from my credibility in the business, because people don't like to. You understand the business, right? So that's why I always name this book. I have my other books from the university time is in a box. So for me, having the journey with books is great, but I use this to promote something else. So if you agree on that, you should go in the second line and say, all money is in the activities around the book. Okay? And please tag along, like, if you are here, just play with us and see what will happen.
You mean services, offerings?
So if you need services or you need to offer services and you don't know what are they, this is what Win Your Brand is doing. We help people to build their platforms, because I will explain what do you mean an author platform and how you can market this author platform. So if you have a service, or someone can come and say, you know what, I have this nice history book, I want to make the right marketing for it, so I will become a speaker, and I will have 3 or 4 keynote speeches every year or so, where I will go and talk to people. I can actually start an online radio channel with a program talking about this history book. It doesn't need to be money. It doesn't need to be consultations. Okay? It can be different models. But the point I want to drive to you is, there is no money in selling books. There is no money in selling books. So when I stand here and people come and say, the book cannot sell, it sold 800 copies. I sell 800 copies in one event I do in Vegas. Okay, I give out. It's part of anybody will come to contract me, they will come and say, I will give each one of your audience $20 book. So how many audience do you have? 200? It's a multiply 200 by $20, and I will speak for free. I don't need to pay, don't need to pay me any money, because they cannot afford me. That's right. If I come and say I'll talk to you for like $4,000 in front of 200, we don't have money for you. But when they do announce the program and say, you pay us $20 or $50 and you get $20 book from the speaker, you are now paying for $30 only, which is much, much, much less than the meals you have. Do you agree on that? So we can position these books in a different way. It's not always about the book. And I know that maybe you don't agree with me, but if you don't agree with me, just keep going with me and there are more value information you'll have. Do you agree? The following thing we say, writing and producing a book is usually, I said, let's call it 5 to 10% of the book project. So if you want to launch a book project, writing and publishing the book is about 5% of the book. The question after that is, how do I reach my audience or my clients or whoever wants to read the book? How do you reach them? Any ideas?
Through,
How?
through your existing like subscriber list, through your existing clients, through like.
So these are good ideas, but what is the general umbrella for reaching them? You reach them where and when they wanna see you. That's right. We don't push. We ask our readers to call us for the books. So people have to know you first. People nowadays don't buy books because nowadays, how many of you here has a friend named Google and the other friend called Bing? That's right. You know my mom's 76 years old. She got a phone and she connected with me and my sisters on Facebook and she uses Google. And when I called her, I said, she said, do you know about this? I just read it on Google. I said, okay. Okay. How many of you here will Google any new product in front of him? The statistics showed within 2 minutes, if you stand in Sears, which is unfortunately is closing down because they could not transform as Amazon. Sears used to be the Amazon of our past life in Canada. So when you stand in front of Sears and you see this brand new orange fridge, never seen before, what you will do? That's right, you'll pick up. The statistics demonstrate within 2 minutes of being exposed to a brand new brand, you will basically search it online. That's right. So for all of the friends here who say, we are very proud not to be on Facebook, I'm very proud of you too as a coffee shop friend, not as a business partner or not even my clients. So if you have the mentality of going out and searching out things, why you don't expect when I see this nice children books to search you and Google you and try to find where are you? Why people are not having social and internet or online presence? Despite the fact is nowadays with these phones, with this handset, it reduces the barrier for technology. In my time when I started as a computer scientist back in early 90s, I bought my computer for an equivalent cost of a brand new vehicle. Nowadays, you can go buy 200 to 300 phone, up to 1500 a new iPhone right now, and you have access to the whole globe, the whole network. So you don't have to pay too much money. All what you need to do is what? Learn the system, organize yourself on a schedule. I do exist. How many here has like 3, or let's call it 5, or more social media accounts? 5 or more. Can you tell me what are the 5?
Oh geez, tests. So Facebook, Instagram, website, Twitter. Okay. LinkedIn.
Okay, that's
Thank
good.
you.
So if you are not in at least these 5, you have to figure out a way. And by the way, it doesn't cost you much. You know what? If you invite me or invite anybody for a coffee, and I don't drink coffee by the way, so I will not cost you more than the cold water, but you remember when we sit over there, you can get your phone, I can show you how to do stuff. It's not hard. You know, if you hang around SAIT or you are in very far away in the university, all the way south. So if you hang around SAIT or University of Calgary or Montreal, if you go there and just see one of these young generation boys or girls and say, oh, would you mind just help me sit on this one? She will do it for you. Do you agree? Does it cost money? So what's holding you back? Who here has more than 10 social media accounts? Nobody. I have a brand new book which I would request, if you like what you see, to go to pre-purchase it, by the way. It's for $40 US on my... yeah, I have more than 10?
No, I have a question.
Yes.
What do you define as different social media? Like I have different brands. Is it different?
I love your question. I love it. I love it. I will tell you in 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. I do have my book coming called 12 Streams of Income. It's hosted on 12 Streams of Income, 12streamsofincome.com. Please, if you like what I'm saying, go there, sign up, and purchase my book, and you'll have another 1 hour with me. And this will cost you $40 US. My book existed in 152 online platforms. 152. And when you go on the slider, you will see all of them. And the book will be coming next year, by the way. I don't have the book right now. Okay? And I sold more than 2,000 copies of this book. Not at 40, at 20, earlier. Okay? I personally exist on 76 social media platforms. One of them is called Facebook. I have 8 personal profiles there. I have more than 28 business and book pages over there. I run all of them through my phone by sending emails. I don't actively be there at all. But if anything's happening over there, I got an email and I deal with my life by email. So there is a way to tie all of your social media, and I'm not advising you to be like me, but you can if you want to. It will cost you 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to do the whole setup, and then it can show you how you can push an email, and the email will go and show everybody, and when somebody make a comment or something you want to verify, and you can go like 1 hour or 2 hours every couple of weeks or so to set up your whole schedule. That's it. I write my own blogs. I have blogs, and I don't call myself bloggers. In my blog, I have more than 400 blogs a year among all of my blogs. And I don't call myself bloggers, by the way. Yes, ma'am.
I get the sense that a lot of people in the room aren't in social media. So could you help us out by naming the 5 most critical social media platforms that authors should start?
It will come exactly. I will show you where we are. Okay. Okay. So this will get to the next statement. It say, when a book first introduced, the prospect will perform a search to verify the book and the author using online or Google or whatever you want to do within 2 minutes of the introduction of the book. So if my good friend Shamir will stand here with his books and he wants to sell his book from Ignite from Inside Out, because he has a forthcoming book and he has all the elements for the book. When he wants to sell this book, what we will do? We want to verify this guy. That's right. A good client of mine, he published 28 kids' book in 20 months. He sells about between $4,000 to $6,000 worth of books every month on Amazon. He's an IT guy, by the way. He has no passion for kids. Okay? But he knows the tool. So if you agree on these rules, can you go and circle agree in the bottom? And if you don't agree, tell me why. So you agree on these rules?
What did you think to put in those links?
When a book first introduced, the prospects will perform a search or verify the book / author using online tools within 2 minutes of being introduced to the book. That's right. So let's now get to know about you a little bit. So I want you to go to the second page. And just to give you 2 minutes because we're running out of time. So first thing is I want to know about you. So you want to say I am. You are what? Can you complete this sentence and say I am? Just write it. And then if you are done with this, you have to come back and say my book/idea is to. And you can use a workbook. If you need more blanks, I can email me. I'll give you more blanks. Not big deal. Just write it in. Don't feel shy. And if you're done with the second statement, you say, my goal is, you understand now. The goal is not writing the book. There is no money in writing books. So what's your goal? And then you go and say, what makes my book or idea great? So what will make your book/idea great? And the last part is what my current book or sales level or distribution level. So and I said you will go away with this material. I'll not even take it back from you. But just I want to. You have to understand the reality. Yes, ma'am.
So when you say, what is my current book sales distribution level, what do you mean by level?
Like, are you selling 100 books, 0 books, and no books? Okay.
Like where you're starting off from?
If you're starting off, you say it does not exist. Don't flip the page. We did not say flip the page. Oh my God. I love when I have clever students in front of me. Yes, ma'am.
When you're saying goal, the goal is what you want to achieve with your book or sales with your book?
And this is a brilliant, perfect question. The goal is what you define, is what your understanding of the goal. So usually, if I want to buy your book, I need to know why should I buy your book. There is no value of buying children's books. Sorry, my friend, go. You give me a permission, okay?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So there is no value of buying children's books. There is no value in buying walk-through books. The value is in what? In educating the kids, having activities, having creativity, expose them to different unknown. And this is where what I should stand and say. My book empower young kids from age 6 to 10 or 4 to 6 to learn about big trucks or big things. So my book series is what? Big truck, big things, big homes. My book is about teaching and empowering the current generation with the famous and the lifestyle of the RCMP. And that's why I'm trying to give them information and insight so I can build their knowledge or I can build their career in a better way. When we go around these particular meetings, and I hope John will not kick me outside this meeting again, people say, oh, I write a book about that. I don't care how you write the book. I don't care what the book is about. What I care about is what is for me to know about your book. So in my books, when you go and say, I have the book named The Guide to Win, it guides you to achieve your win. It helps you where you can win in your life. It has psychology information, it has communication information, it has a blueprint. And this is my gift to people. I guide them to win. So when you talk about used 40 years, when we produce this particular series, we found, we want to guide them to win. If you want to guide you to win, what should I do first for you? I should help you define your win. That's right. So it took 40 years to write this book. It took 20 years to write this book. It took me 20 minutes to help defining people winning, because we took one chapter from here which is the very first chapter, say the definition, and we spread it over a book. We don't sell this book. This book is a giveaway. It's my business card. So the book, it has very simple messages, very simple stuff, because it's just one chapter here. When I sell this book, this always go with it for free. When I see somebody confused, I say, okay, let me talk to you first. Okay, you know what? I will leave you my book behind. Here is my book to define your win. Define your win, and then I can guide you. You can come to pay me to guide you through how to achieve. So this is a different concept and different mindset, which I'm not asking all of you to change and do it, but part of my honesty here is to show you what I do. That's right? Because we learn from each other experience. We don't learn from each other knowledge. Because knowledge exists with who? With our friend Google and his cousin Bing. That's it. We are here to learn from each one experience. The information which is Gordon talk about having this particular publisher and this is bad and this is good. This is what I'm here for his personal experience. That's right. So anybody wants to share with us? And believe me, when you share, you get more value because we'll start to attack you. I will help you through it. So we can only have one volunteer because we have to close at noon. So, yes, sir.
I've got a question on just in regards to everything you're sharing, and I don't know if it's just my confused brain now talking out here. Everything you say makes a lot of sense. And of course, looking into how things work on the back end, because I'm a sales business guy. I'm looking at this and I'm going, this makes sense for people who are in specific genres of book, like the lady who's talking about concussions and brain and how that's a real life thing. For someone who's writing fiction, how does this play in? Because at this point, you're not selling a real life concept, you're selling a fantastical idea.
Let me give you an example, which is I have to show you here. You are getting me out of my sequence, which is usually not a healthy thing to do, but I want to share with you something here. And this was about, it will go next. So let's talk about Gig Nation. Did you hear about Gig Nation before?
Gig Nation?
Gig Nation.
Geek.
Oh, Geek Nation.
Yeah, did you hear about them before? Okay, Gig Nation is one of the largest publishers in fictions. In August 17, they were listing a book named Handbook for Mortal. This book will become a coming movie. They announced they have been pre-selling 18,000 copies of this book. This is just a fiction. How can you pre-sell 18,000 to make it to New York bestseller list? When somebody complained, New York bestseller organization, they withdraw it and they didn't find that these people actually sold 18,000. And all the justification is they want Hollywood to take attention of this book so they can sell it. So even people who are writing novel for living, you know them. Charles Dickinson, they used to know them. We in our country, we used to know the authors of the novels. And these people who write fiction, will write everything. That's why we are connected with them. Does this answer the question? Okay, so there are people who are writing novels to be in the media, to be as a movies, like Star Wars, like Harry Potter. Harry Potter, by the way, is a top seller right now. One of their series has been made about I think 1.4 million copies. Okay, so when these authors stand and back their books, people buy these books because this author, John Maxwell, we buy his books for what reason? John Maxwell. How many of these books did he write himself? This is a different story for another event. Okay. So coming back to the workshop material, I appreciate your questions. So can somebody give us example? Yes, sir.
You asked for sharing of
No, I want somebody to tell us what he find here. Like somebody read what his answers. Just to get this. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll read my answers. So, to get to know me, I'm a concussion recovery coach. My book idea is to help concussed individuals recover faster from their concussions. And my goal is to reach as many people as possible who are currently suffering and or their families to change the current education around concussion recovery. So to really bring it from the level that it's at today to a brand new level, and really include that brain-body connection that does not exist today for concussion recovery. And what makes my book great, it's a unique system, and it comes from not only a business side of coaching individuals, but it also comes from a personal experience side, as I've used my own system on myself. I'm a multiple concussion brain injury sufferer that's fully recovered. My current book sales distribution level is currently at 0.
So I appreciate what you shared. I love it. And how many of you like this summary of her? Very good. Very good. Right? Okay. Let's just work and take it to the next level. So when you talk about what she said, she explained to us how. She never explained to us why it's important, what's the value. She said, I help people with concussions. But she never talked about they will enjoy their life, they have a better relationship with their families, they spend more time with their kids.
Good point.
It's not a good point, ma'am. There is a system for that. Is there a system? You guys have to understand that we are in life, and I'm not here doing judgment. We are in life about 4 different quadrants. We care about money, we care about relationship, we care about process, and we care about time. Unfortunately, all of you, majority of you except the hard people who spend 40 years as a teacher or as a nurse in her life, these are relationships. They care about the relationship. All what I learned from her, she's a process. She talk about how. In a good crowd of a process oriented like this nice man here, he will resonate with you. But somebody she admire only relationship, she will not resonate with you. They don't need the how. So any of your messages must tell people 3 of these things. How you help them making money, reducing loss, how you make them better person, better relationship with their surrounding, with their family, and how you make the process efficient or reduce the overhead, and how you can achieve on time. So there is a template for this stuff. These stuff are not just good. I'm not suggesting. I know the science. This is the science. And by the way, my degrees are computer engineering, not in this science. So there is a science for this. So if you want to stand and say, what you do, I help people amplify their messages, reach more audience, make more money by better engagement, and enjoy their time, and they leave legacy behind. I touch all of them because at the end I say within 6 months or less. My system worked on someone in this room as well without identifying him in 6 hours. 6 hours I showed a little thing. He went out in a couple of months or 3 months, he doubled his business. And if you go to our website, you will see his testimonial with his photo. So there is a system for that. So the problem we see when we say the third challenge we do have is we do stuff in the wrong way. So the number 4 challenge was we don't know what to do. And number 3 challenge is we do things in the wrong way. So when she stands and say, thank you for the suggestion, this is not I'm not suggesting something, I'm reflecting my knowledge in you. When we go around and surround ourselves with good friends and family, which is always happening, when you try to speak, you will have your notes and you'll learn your messages, that's right? When you'll practice, in front of who? Family. So when you practice in front of the family will feel what? They will feel great about you. You are the hero. Sorry, ma'am, he's not a hero. He's just somebody ahead of you. But does he say the right spots? Will we be able to get more people to buy the book from the back of the room? The answer is no. Because you don't know what is the sequence. That's right. You don't know what is the sequence. So there are systems for these things. And if you want to understand the system, you can flip the page And we start with the first marketing outreach communication thing. Is, can you define your audience? And please respect the sign in the middle because we will have to come back and talk about a few things. So can you define your audience? Now your audience for your book, your audience for your business, your audience for your love, for your heart, for whatever. Okay, just write 2 sentences, define who are your audience. And if you have a book and you cannot write down who are your audience, we have to talk. So who are your audience? Any shares? Yes, ma'am.
I said mine are because I'm looking at children.
I'm not asking what you're looking for. Stop. We ask one question. Who are your audience? Don't tell us. And this is exactly what will happen when you stand and sell. I'm sorry, I'm sorry to scare you. I'm sorry, I didn't have to. I have to do it in this way to just basically you always remember it. When somebody is standing in front of you for 2 minutes, I want to know what you can do for me. That's it. I don't want to know what happened and because and I was and no. What you can do. So who are your audience?
Children, ages 5 to 8, and adults.
And adults. That's awesome. Where do you meet them?
Where do I meet them?
Yeah. So you should meet them where they hang around.
Well, kids.
When they hang around. That's right. You can.
Well, schools for kids. For adults, social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. Who else have some others? I apologize if I scare you. It has to happen once in your life to change. If you don't,
He scares everybody at least once in their life.
Anybody else wants to share on the audience? Who's it? Yes, ma'am.
So I've got church groups, retreat centers, searching couples 18 to 80 in a relationship.
Awesome. Good. What's your message for them?
I haven't got that far yet.
Okay. So when we study and analyze your audience, we found out that people are doing the wrong stuff because people usually hang around where their audience are not there. Or people give their audience what they don't need. So Gordon allowed me to talk about what he did. So Gordon went around and gave each one of us this nice book thing. That's right? If I read this book thing about the author, Gordon and his wife, Diane, live in central Alberta, Canada. They are parents to 4 children, which I admire because I also have 4 boys. Do you have girls?
1 girl.
You are so lucky, man. I have 4 boys. And I have no luck with their moms. So it's another story. And 11 grandchildren, which is a very admirable. I love it. But did he say here what he can do for me?
You have to turn it over.
If he comes and say, Gord has a passion because he has all of these people in his life, people will connect with it. So we are having our own ego. And I have a high ego. I have a huge ego. I can put myself as a professor, multiple PhDs, fellows, and whatever. But when I stand in front of my clients, like Paul, for example, I know Paul for like 3-4 years now, or 3 years, 2-3 years, that's right? He told me today, congratulations on your doctor. He didn't know that I have a PhD back in 2000. Because when I hang around with my audience, what I do? I dim myself to entertain them. If you know you are standing in front of somebody who has 2 PhDs in computer engineering, 2 masters, 1 MBA, 6 diplomas in law, 17 patent and built 22 companies, will you listen to me?
No.
That's right?
Yeah.
So the very first lesson from here is we have to understand who are our audience. And by the way, everything I say, you can Google my name. If people have problem with Google Wael Badawi and see and you will know who I am. So, and I'm not challenging people, I'm trying to give you a life example. That's how you can build your audience and your crowd. So we don't know who are our audience. So if you start with your audience, and you maybe have marketing material, that's right? You have Facebook, you have pages, you have internet access, that's right? The biggest question is how I can get my audience to buy my books. There is also a blueprint which we do, and we explain to people how to get people to buy your books. So if you understand that, here is the customer. So here is the customer who will pay you money for the books. That's right. Who are these customers? They are not the children, or the church, or the library, or whatever it is. That's right. So the customer is the one who's paying me money. That's right. How can I reach this guy? There is a system for that. And this system, they teach it somewhere else. They call it sales process. Someone will come to you and say, "Do you like to have SEO?" That's right. Yeah. SEO is great, but for what? SEO will not get you customers. Because if you understand SEO, or somebody will give you lead magnet. How many of you here heard about lead magnet? You want to have lead magnets?
About what?
Lead magnet.
Lead magnet?
Yeah. Did you hear this term before? Somebody will.
But I understand it. I like it. I want it.
So people will come and say this information, and they will not understand that there are sequences to get people to pay me money. And I will share with you here one of my models, because this model never existed anywhere else. It exists in so many. They call it prospect to purchase and so many stuff. This is a very simple technique you can use. If you are looking for somebody to pay you money, what the step before that you have to understand? So these people need to touch you. So that if I touch you, not touch, but if I talk to you, if I see your book, your Facebook, if I see your social media, if I see whatever, I will be a client of yours. If you give them free seminars, this workshop, all of you are client of mine. That's right. Because all of you are touching and listening to me and interacting with my material. That's right. Does all of you are willing to pay me money? Not necessarily, maybe none. But I know if I get so many clients, if I give so much away, I will get people to pay me big money. It works with me, it works with everybody. Our good friend Shamir has, would you mind me saying that? Has an espresso shot.
Wait, what are you going to be doing?
Espresso shot. Has an espresso shot. It's a 15 minutes weekly podcast live. You can go and attend it from 9 to 9:15, where you will learn. He give everybody everything. He give meditation, breathing techniques. He help people every single week, every Monday. He's behind his camera at his home, and he's talking to his clients every Monday. Okay. Now, when he sells his book, who will pay for his book? Most likely, immediately. The one who keep coming every Monday. That's right. So before you get customers, you need to have clients. Before clients, just to cut for the sake of the time, they are prospects, they are lead, they are audience, target audience, they are audience, and then we have the general.
The what, sir?
General.
The general?
Yeah. Because if you are selling, sorry to use this example, but if I'm selling condoms to the hookers, I will not stand at noon in downtown, because my generals is not there, that's right? So I will not stand in the street selling to the hookers at midday. I have to be at midnight, that's right? So one of the biggest challenge for authors that you don't know where are your general hanging around. Where these generals? My good friend Tony Robbins said before, when you use this F-bomb and these particular examples, they tie in your brain, because you always remember, somebody's trying to sell the hookers. Oh, he's talking about what? About who are my general audience, where I will funnel from that access to clients and customers. And then who will be the best one to buy your book? The one who pay you money, that's right? Your next book. So you have here referral clients, customers, returned ones, and retired ones. So this class of communication you need to build inside your book, inside your website, inside your communication. So to challenge you right now, if you can go to your workbook, and I will not do the whole exercise, but will just a couple of steps. Can you tell me where do you meet your general? The general, what's their definition? It's inside my book, the 12th stream of income will be coming. The commercial is to go buy it from my website, okay? Away from the commercial. Who are the people who are generally available in any place, and they will become audience to listen to my message. Then they will sign up for one of my offers. They will exercise my podcast. I have a podcast, my video, my whatever, my blog, and then they will come to buy my book. Where they hang around? Gordon will tell you in community centers. That's right.
Craft shows, markets.
And markets.
Yep.
Is this true? The truth will come if you measure the conversion from here to here. That's right.
Right.
So, in your example, you talk about churches, you talk about people. So, where these people will hang around? If you don't know where, you will not know where to market. So, can you spend 30 seconds to figure out? Number one, say my G, which is my general, and where they hang around and how to reach them. Yes, sir.
Well, you're not talking about, are you talking about having personal contact with people, or just if they come to your website, if you can get them to your website, does that count as G?
The G is before they come to my website.
Okay.
So the G will be the general audience, who are people don't know about me, but they will take benefit from me. For example, if I'm selling swimming suits, I will not go to weddings to sell swimming suits. If I'm selling hookers, I will not go stand at 8 o'clock in the morning, because none of these generals will approach me. That's right. But if I stand at midnight, majority of the people crossing by.
I don't understand the analogy. I've never been there.
I know. Which is good. Which is good. So the question for you guys.
Otherwise you need my book.
Where?
Wait a minute. You are missing the point. When you say something like that, you've turned off. And you're making comments too, you've turned off. But if you watch Tony Robbins' show, which is on Netflix or something, he made a really clear point about throwing in an example. Like, we will all leave here remembering this example.
Absolutely.
But if you don't remember why the example was used, then it's really falling short. But the example is a really good example. He's saying you're not going to meet your customers in the middle of the day when they work in the middle of the night.
Absolutely.
And he's saying on social media, I can tell you a lot of my friends and the people I'm talking to, even about health concerns, they're on in the middle of the night, worried and cannot sleep. And he's just kind of sharing examples of meet your customers, your general people, not necessarily the niche market for your book or your topic, because when you think they will, you have to look outside the box of what are they doing at other times and how can you connect with them, because you have a message. And so don't let this example fall short with this stuff, because I'm hearing it, and it's really important.
Yeah, I was lost.
It's really, really important to understand where that example and why it was shared.
Thank you, Monique. Yes, ma'am.
I think by offering an example that doesn't offer the moral challenge of trying to understand about hookers and jobs. Here's a good example. If your target audience is young adults, well, they're going to be on their phones on their lunch hour. They're going to be doing it before they go to school, and as soon as school is over, they're on their phones. And you'll see, if you're using an online platform, you will see a bump of activity with your followers. Similarly, if your users are 9-to-5 working people, you will see bumps at certain times of the day. Maybe they go for coffee, maybe mid-morning, definitely lunch hour, and definitely after 4 or 5 o'clock. This is what I see on LinkedIn every day.
Okay, I appreciate what you said, and I completely 100% disagree with it. If we talk about transformation of people, people need to understand what they are doing, and where they are leading. What you said is great. What you said is great. What you said is great. When I look at where is my audience, my target audience, and my lead. So exactly what you said, it shows me very clearly that you are trying to reach audience and lead. You are not thinking about your general. If you are looking at audience, if you know that you are going behind people who are 5 o'clock, these are your target audience. These are not your general.
In my particular instance, that was my general. And I'm using a reference not to a book, but to a different type of online publishing.
If you want to do online publishing for kids, your general will hang around. How do you reach them? So you said you reach them through social media. So your general will hang around a specific social media groups. So for example, when you talk about divorce problems, there are so many social media groups on divorce where you can approach them with messages, not selling your book or your service, where these people will listen to. That's right? Because we send info products. So if you understand where are your general will come and when they work around, like we cannot here in Canada buying swimming suits because here is always cold, that's right? We don't buy outside tent because it's so windy. So if anybody's selling tents in the street, but you will not remember the tent example. You will remember the other example, okay? So when you sell tents in the street in Canada, it's so windy, it will not sell. So standing in general and trying to sell them tent. I have a friend of mine from New Zealand. He invented something, which is, we use it as trampoline in Canada. His #1 sale is in Canada. He's in New Zealand. They don't sell in New Zealand. Because trampolines have been, Canada is the largest country of installing and owning trampolines for their home. So the first start you have to understand is, where are your general hanging around? And where are the tools you use? That's right. So this tool is not sufficient for general. Because if I have no kids, if I have no relationship with kids, I don't have kids, I don't like kids, I don't care about this, you are wasting 3 cents. The number thing is, you said also, when you stand in front of us, you said, this is a 3 cent, it's so cheap. I am not a cheap guy, I drive a Porsche, man. I don't like cheap stuff. I like cost-effective things. That's right?
I sell about 95% of my books because of that bookmark.
If you want to take your books to the second level of selling twice what you sell right now, if you apply this, you will understand.
I'm learning.
So when people talk about general, you have to understand where are these general hang around. And what are the tools to reach this general. And then when you come and describe what are the tools, here you will talk about social media. It will make sense. So if you sell to consultants, what are the most important social medias are? So LinkedIn, so the answer for the question, what is the top 5 social medias? If I don't know my general, I will not optimize. For me, because the work I do is wider sections, I blow out on everywhere. But if you have limited budget of time, you want to look at where are your general. So when the generals are, you can start send them messages. So this is what the social media is about. There are Facebook, there are LinkedIn, there are Twitter, Google+, VK. If you sell overseas, there is a VK and so many others. If you go to the website which is called 12 streams of income.com, you will find out in one of the slides all the social media, which is this book, is coming on it. Because this is a pre-selling campaign. We are launching in November 1st. Okay? So without knowing all of these people and how you reach them, it will not make sense for you to run a marketing campaign for any current book or next book. Do you agree? So if you continue this section, which unfortunately for the sake of the time I will not be able to go through the whole thing, you should be able to identify who are your audience, who are your target audience, your lead, prospects, client, customers, return customers. And then you will come to page 7 of this workbook.
Wait a second. Page 5, your A on 5.3 is what? Target audience?
Target audience.
And then your L?
Lead, prospects, customers, clients, buying customers. And there is a link somewhere in this workbook where you can go find all these definitions. Then you have the referred clients. So 5.8 are 3 because there are 3 classes in 5.8 you have to. So just to help Gordon with a very good tip we always do, if you have access back to your current customers who bought these books, when you launch a new book, what you will do?
Contact them right away
How you contact them in the current model?
for the email.
With an email. So if you need to have an email. For me, I have a mobile app for each one of my books. So when people come to download my books or get my books, they will download my mobile app. So I can send back on the mobile app, there is a new book coming, or there is a new workshop coming, or there is meet the authors. Come to the authors, there is a $20 event. Come the authors and the author is speaking there. If you sell 500 books and you have the contact of 500 people and they really like and interact on your book, and they say, come meet the author for $25, breakfast, 10, 15 will come, 20 will come. 20 times 25 is $500. That's right?
Yep.
So before you start all this activity, you need to understand this blueprint, you need to understand this part. The second part, just for the sake of the time, if you go to page 7, if you understand now who are your general audience, your clients, your customers, what is your author or your book platform is. What's the component of your book, of your authorship platform? What do you have?
I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. You don't understand the question. So we as an author or speaker, we must have what we call it platform.
It's the why of your
Yes,
book
ma'am.
or your message.
I could.
I'm sorry. I have to moderate this in 7 minutes. We'll leave.
I could just say very quickly.
So I'm not trying. I'm not trying to get anybody to explain anything. People need to learn. People need to be stoppage. People need to learn with a scar to keep the learning for the rest of their life. It's a different philosophy, which is we as speakers, as a professional speakers, we do. So these people in 20 years from now, they remember Wael Badawi standing here and saying this information which transforms their life. Okay? So you must have you must have a platform. What is a platform? So the book itself, it's a piece of the platform. The website of the book, it's another piece of the platform. The author website, it's another piece of the platform. So you as an author or a speaker, you must have a separate website than the book website. By the way, to have unlimited number of websites, it will cost you around $140 per year. That's it. And there are so many free tools out there, and there are in the blueprint we have, there are actually templates where you can, with a little bit of imaging and a little bit of few things you can know, you can actually get these things to be done. It does not cost much money. It costs vision. So when you have an author website, I do have also a podcast. So I do have With Wael as a podcast. The problem is when you come and ask questions, people don't know what they don't know and they try to guide you. Is ignorant, trying to or blind, trying to lead the blind. You must focus on the platform. People are not buying books anymore. People are buying knowledge from people who they admire and they know they are good. How do they know they are good? Because you have your own website, you have a podcast, you can have your own social media platforms. And at that point, what will happen is when you want to go and reach somebody like Calgary Herald or somebody to review a book for you, where you will send them to? To the book website? No. I will send them to the personal website. So many of people, when we go around with this particular knowledge, we find people are stubborn. People are just feeling comfort where they are. I stand in front of people who just need two things. If they have it, they will skyrocket with their books. And the answer was, you know what? We have been sales for like 25 years, and we don't need to listen to you. I said, you know what? It's great. I have clients who are sales trainers. They train sales team, and I help them putting these platforms. So when you want to come and say, I am writing a book, and I am an author, or I have a book coming, I do have forthcoming books. I don't have books in my ideas. All my books are outside, reaching my audience on these platforms. So if you understand the meaning of platform is the tools to make you as an author, as a credible author, and to market your own book. So the questions in page number 7, what is your platform includes? So it will include bookmarks, it will include books, it will include my bio, it will include my website, my social media, it will include my podcast, my YouTube channel. When you have all of this, and it takes about 6 weeks to have all of this set up and running, it's not too long if you know what you need to do. This is what people are buying from right now. So you must focus, and this knowledge is available for speakers, authors, or consultants. When somebody in concussions, I don't need you to tell me you are in concussion. When I get your name, I have to now go and search you out. What should I find?
What will you find?
No, what should I find?
What should you find? You should find the information about me. You should find that
if this is what you say right now, I'm glad. Yes, you got it. People, guys, don't. If you want to sell online, if you want to pre-sell your books, you have to have a platform first. And platforms, there are blueprints for it. You can do it. You can do a little bit here, a little bit of social media, a little bit of web development. You can get somebody to fix your book, to fix your web, you fix your social media. It doesn't work. You need to have a coherent message through the platform. Do you agree? If you don't agree, just think about it twice, because you might be holding to what you want to do, not for how things to be done. So if you have this, if you can fill this, you can go to page number 8. And number 8, it shows the steps to go online or in person and be able to promote your books. For the sake of the time, I will not be able to entertain so many of the steps, but the workbook, you can keep going with it if you want to. So step number 1 is you need to identify who are your audience first. If you want to shift to online, there are, I think, 2.3 billion people on Facebook. You cannot market to 2.3 billion. So you have to segment them in a way so you can have like 100,000 or so, or 10,000, so you can be effective. Number 2 is you need to build your author platform. Who are you as an author? People in the university will have a university website. So there is some author platform existing there, because when people will know that you are in university, they will check your website. If you are not in the university, if you are in a big company, you will have an author platform. If you don't have any of these, you can have a LinkedIn, and you can have some posts there where this will be your author platform. But always remember one thing: needies will not buy from needies. So when I come here and say to have a website for you and all your books, unlimited number of websites and unlimited number of emails and I don't take any money from this organization. This company exists in Vancouver. They give you this access, and they cost you about $140 for the second year and $67 for the first year. If I don't find you as an author with a website, which I know from my knowledge it costs $67 for the first year, it's $140. Will I pay you $200 for your book? That's right. So any author who is reputable or has a respect, if you have $67, I can show you, and I don't get any commission from them. I can just show you where to have this and how you host it, and you will have direct relation with them. You pay them every year for your URL and disk space. That's it. They don't do much. And you can have templates and have a website in a couple of hours. And as I said, if you don't want to reach to me, you can reach to any one of the new generation. Just go where they hang around and ask them for help. They will do it for you. The minute you have a website, the minute is you are in the game. If you don't have an author website, if you don't have an author platform, you are not in the game. The second part of the platform is people need now to know you. So how people can know you? Because right now in the market, everybody is looking for somebody. That's right. So there's a fellow named Kyle K, who I told you about, he's selling books, but people cannot reach to him. So he cannot sell in the Canadian market. Because I would like to know who is this guy who I'm giving these books for my kids, that's right? I would like to know that, because we are scammed by so many scammers. So you need to build social awareness, and one of the awareness is a simple Facebook page, LinkedIn page with some videos. You must stand and have videos of you talking to people about how you're good, how your book is good, and what you do is good for the people. It does not cost money, because if you have your phone, there is most likely camera on it. And nowadays, from 2014 forward, people don't admire the fancy videos anymore. Because everybody now is used to have this self-production. So I self-produce majority of my stuff. So where you can stand and just have your message around your book, around your service. So the steps I have here, it's detailed steps how to get your book outside and how to have your media exposure. You also need to have something we call press release. How many of you here for their books have a press release? So for this book in particular, the history book, I will not touch any of the big media, like newspaper. I will not send them letters. I will send them press releases, because this journalist, what they see every day in their life, press release. So if you have a couple of press releases about this book, you have a higher chance to get their attention to the book. But if you send me a press release and I'm interested to connect with you, what's the next step I will do? I will Google you out. If I Google you and I didn't find you, what will happen? I will not give it enough attention. So my message from this workshop is, if you want to sell more, you need to think to shift your mind and believe in building an author platform. And there is a blueprint for that, and there is resources for that. The exercise from page 9 till page 12, it describes what you need to see, how you can identify your target audience. 10 minutes? Sorry?
We have to finish, it's 12 o'clock.
Okay, so just 3 minutes to finish. This exercise here will help you identify your audience. You will see that your audience need to have age, gender, income level. The more you can fill in this demographic and psychographic and online behavior on page 12, the more you can be able to launch a successful project. or a successful product. On page 14, I'm explaining the blueprint of how to build an author platform. So you need to have an author website, you need to blog on your website, you need to link to your other published book on your website. There are 15 steps. The last one is you need to have an author mobile application. And over here on Google online platform, I have a mobile app named Wael Badawi on Google Play, and I do have WizWael on Google Play and on iPhone. So when I try to put my platform out, I already have so much media, so much material, so people can get to know me. So now I can put the material. The rest on page 15 is from C to P, which all are the steps. And as I said, there is a couple of links here. If you go to these links, you will find a small thing. You can put your information there, and you will be able to get more data on this particular workbook. I apologize for people who, if I was trying to cut it down or trying to scare you. I'm sorry to run out of time, but it's always happy to see you. Oh, 2 more things before you go, because we always like to give out so many things. So what I'm passing here is sheets which will help you out. And I'll just go through them in a couple of minutes before John will kick us out. Here's more sheets for you. Okay, the last 2 things I want to just share with you. I gave you a sheet which called my book project single sheet. So the first one, if you must be able to fill all of this information, this will give you an idea what's your book problem about, who are you solving for. So the first one is called my book project single sheet. The second one, on the back of it, it talks also about key partnership, key activity, value proposition, it has a small logo over there. You should be able to brainstorm about that. And if you have questions, call me, I will respond to you. The second one, we call it my story single sheet. This is how we structure stories, how we structure who we are, what we do for what reason. And I don't care if you have 20 years in cinematography and 20,000 years in media and you are getting CNN Elite Award. It doesn't matter. When you connect with people, you connect in a different way. So this broadcaster and people who studied media, they studied for mainstream media, not for online media. On the back, there is the story line where you should be able to write your own story. And the small sheet here, it talks about the product offer. So your book should fit this small sheet.
Sorry.
And last message, I will leave it with you. If you are in books and you have books out and must take advantage of Christmas, and if you want to bundle your book as a Christmas bundle, connect with me this week. I will show you what I do. And as I said, just let me know. I'm here to help you. This is the last one. And I'm around for any questions. And if you need my business card, they're here. Yes.
2 things I particularly picked up here. And everybody has their own takeaways, and share them because they won't all be the same. People don't buy books. People buy connection. People buy knowledge. People buy experience. People buy prestige. Look whose book I've got. Didn't you get a copy before they sold out? And people buy gratitude. I bought this book to give to you. I hope you're grateful. I don't say it that way. Here's what I love about the platform. It creates credibility and it creates visibility. And whatever you need to do to create credibility and visibility will immensely enhance your ability to deliver connection, knowledge, experience, prestige, and gratitude. All of which you do well. Thank you for coming. Thank you for entertaining us. Thank you for educating us. And thank you for inspiring us.